Welcome to Health Conscientious Entrepreneurs, where we uncover secrets to balancing entrepreneurship, life, and healthy habits to achieve radiant health. I'm your host, Ngoc Tai, and today I have my friend Dr. Tassel Shanebrook, all the way from Tennessee. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to the show. And I want to ask, what is your background? What do you do, and what brings you joy?
Great. Thank you so much. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. So my background is, like many of us, I went through a lot of challenges in my lifetime, and these challenges really prompted me to be a seeker of health in general. I had a lot of emotional challenges around depression and anxiety. I had some health challenges. I was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. And I, in general, felt very disconnected from myself, very disconnected from my purpose and sort of my authenticity. And I really at times was in a lot of despair in my life. But in a really beautiful way, all of this led me on this journey that I've been on, that I know so many of us have been on, where I really have found amazing emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial healing, and now thriving.
Yeah.
So my professional background is I have a PhD in psychotherapy, and I really draw a lot upon my clinical education. But through this journey, I also sought out many other types of modalities, such as shamanism. I am a practicing shamanic practitioner, energy work. I am a Reiki master. I studied a lot of yoga. I'm a Kundalini yoga instructor. And I also am very fascinated in working with the subconscious. So I'm a certified hypnotherapist as well. So in my work with clients now, and what I have done in my own life, is really just drawing upon all of these beautiful traditions, including the more mainstream psychotherapy tradition, to really bring very profound transformations to my clients. And that's what happened in my life. I really went a 180. I really was despairing and quite miserable in my life. And through these practices and this journey, I have transformed every aspect of my life. And I'm now just leading this really blissful, peaceful, very service oriented, aligned life. And it's great. And everyone can.
I love it, because I met you a few weeks ago and I just keep thinking about you. I don't know why. I mean, you must have been sending me these messages or these connections we have. And I keep going back to you. It's like, I you know what? I just have to bring her on, and the vibration that we're connected. And it's like, I just have to bring her, and I have to just get back to her, because I know there's something here that I have to explore. And I love that I'm able to bring you on here and speaking with me today, and it's just amazing. And I just feel your energy. And we were just talking about health, and how you were just like, we wanted to talk another topic. I'm like, you know what? Let's just have a chat. Yeah, it's just chat about life, and what we do to deal with our health. Because at the end of the day, we all have to care about our health. We have to invest, because we only have, like I say, I keep saying that we only have one body.
Yes.
This is our asset.
Yes, exactly. This is the most important thing we have going on.
Exactly.
I always think about, especially as women and moms, like how much time we spend every day, say, cleaning the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then compare that to how much time we might spend just really nourishing our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We might go to the gym and pound something out, but I mean, just like, how much time are we really spending being kind to our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and giving our bodies love, and just caring
Mm-hmm.
caring for these vessels that we're in.
Exactly. And that was, I also went through a journey and I didn't know. I mean, I was like, work full time, went to school full time, always side
Yes,
business, this and that. And then I
yes,
was exhausted, and then my
yes,
whole life fell apart. And then, like, I had to
yes,
go through this journey of awakening and then
yes,
this journey of self care, self love, self realization. And I just
yes,
love talking to other people who go through that journey because
yes,
we all have our different ways of going about it, and then we wake
yes,
up, right, and then we wake up as earth angels, light worker, and we're like,
yes,
okay, there's something going on here. We need to tap into what we
yes,
like, what we're given,
yes,
right, and
yes,
awaken from that. And so I wanted to talk about that, where you've tapped into, and awakened to what your purpose is. and
yes.
and I just love hearing that.
A great question. And maybe this is true for you too. In the past 5 years or so, I went through a very difficult divorce and custody situation. And over the past 5 years, I ended up spending a significant amount of time by myself,
Mm-hmm.
which I was very resistant to. I was very uncomfortable. I did not want to be by myself at all.
Yeah.
But the beautiful gift of being by myself, and I didn't really have a lot of people to count on at this time, is it absolutely forced me to go within.
That's right.
To go within myself, to
Yeah.
connect with my own inner guidance,
Yeah.
and my own sense of spirit.
Yeah.
And the relationship I now have developed with this guidance, my spirit, my higher self, however you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
it's really strong now.
Yeah.
And now I love spending time by myself because I don't feel alone. I feel so connected to spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I surrendered.
Yeah.
I live my life according to my guidance and
Yeah.
what I feel I'm being divinely guided to do on this earth.
Yeah.
And so I just have such a peace and calm in my heart. I mean, sometimes I get anxious about things. I'm certainly not 100% perfect.
Yeah.
But I live my life now through faith, through connection with my own guidance, and this alignment with what I can feel is my purpose here on earth.
And we went through the same journey, right? And it was the same thing, 4 or 5 years ago now. And where I was always busy and all that stuff, and then everything fell apart. And then at first it was very traumatic.
Yes.
Then you realize the gift you're given to really say, okay, it's amazing to have a family, but it's amazing to now have weekends to myself.
Yes.
Where I was able to take care of myself. I was able to look inside myself, was able to look at what is it that's important to me? What is it that I want in life? And how do I go about making these changes? And in the beginning it was hard, but then I saw it as a gift. And I saw it as forgiveness and going on to creating something and rebuilding the life that I wanted to build, because before whatever that life didn't serve us, we have to let go, because if we keep holding on to things that doesn't serve us, that comes from the spiritual side, right? We talk about the spiritual, mental, emotional health. Those things doesn't serve us. So how do we let go of the things that does not serve us, so that we're supposed to be creators and creating a whole new world? So I think that's why you and I, when we talk, I'm like, oh my God, she's like, we're so like, we're like soul sisters across the globe,
Yes. And I think part of the journey that can be uncomfortable is that as you are leaving this life that wasn't serving you, you enter this transitional period where it feels like you don't have much to hold on to. It feels very ungrounded because you're leaving a shore. You're in a little boat on the ocean, and you haven't yet made it to the next port. And that sort of in between time, I think, is where a lot of people could really use support and community and solidarity. That it isn't easy to leave behind something that is known, even if it is not really serving you, if it's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But just sort of like, well, what is there? And to
Mm-hmm.
feel, I don't even know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then like you and I, eventually you do get to this beautiful new shore of rebuilding a life on your own values, on your own life purposes, on your own sense of health, really separated from all the societal programming that you've deprogrammed yourself from. And it's this amazing journey.
Mm-hmm.
But that in between time, I know was, it was brutal at times.
It was.
Just feeling like, who am I? What is
the hell happened?
Everything is falling away. The tower card in the tarot, like the dark night of the soul, everything falls away.
Yeah.
It's intense.
It is. And I wrote a whole poem on that. The depth of hell I come to rise above. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, that's so powerful. And then I'm reading all those poems. Oh my goodness, I should publishing these poetry for women to go through.
Yes.
Like the emotional turmoil.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really powerful stuff.
And I don't know exactly all of your beliefs, but I do believe in other lifetimes. Mm-hmm. And I believe that for many of us in this incarnation, we are not just healing and releasing from this lifetime, but from multiple lifetimes. Yeah. So this can be a very, very intense process that many of us are going through.
Yeah, I do believe that, because sometimes you have these dreams that's like, where did they come from?
Yes.
There has to be something in the past that we carry something.
Yes.
Have these weird dreams, like these journeys that you were going through that, and I do believe there's a universe and the energy that we have, that there's something in us that our souls go generation to generation, right? That we just come back and being to this physical form.
Yes.
We're in here experiencing, and how do we awaken to create what we're supposed to be doing all along, and I feel like I've awoken to tap into what I'm supposed to be doing. My background is as an accountant.
Yes.
That's a different lifetime now for me. It's like, now I need to tap into this health holistic journey of like awakening more people, bringing more awareness to the simple things that we forget. Like we talked about, like basic health. And this is the whole thing. Let's get back to the basic. That's basic health. What is basic health? Cleansing, back to plant-based, back to taking care of our body, taking care of the spirit, taking care of all these things. And you mentioned that you have a program for cleansing, and I'm like, wow, that's very similar to me drinking my water.
Yes. The next course that I'm launching for my clients is about the complete holistic cleansing of your being, the mental cleansing, all the limiting beliefs that, we've just been socialized to have, just cleansing all of those, all of the emotional cleansing, just feeling some deep feelings that maybe we've been avoiding, the physical cleansing, doing a lot of deep intestinal cleansing, and then this spiritual cleansing in a way, because so many of us were brought up to think that the only way to connect with God was through someone else. Mm-hmm. Maybe the pastor at a church or some other religious leader, but that we couldn't have a direct connection to God. Yeah. So just cleansing all of, and then the fifth piece is the financial piece of cleansing, like poverty consciousness, and especially for women. There's so many taboos around women and money. And
it is. Yeah. That's why when we were talking, I'm like, oh my God, she's like, she and I are like in sync, because I just can't, that's my journey. This is what this whole summit is about.
Yes.
Like I've always, how we talked about our life, it always tells us certain things about where we're supposed to be.
Yes.
So my life has always been on the financial side, and teaching people about finance, teaching people tax strategies, teaching people about business, teaching people about this.
Yes.
And then I always knew that I love the health aspect, because I've always been like, okay, the natural remedies from mom, this remedy of drinking and treating my house naturally, and and less medication and reading remedies book all the time. I was always flipping through, oh, what does this do? What does this do?
Yeah, you had
And
so much
so,
curiosity about it.
yeah, so I was always like the mind of curious, and I was always cooking healthy and things like that. And so now then after my health journey last year, it's like, okay, now this is like, you need to wake up. Okay, yeah, now you need to like look at this water, look at all these other aspects and just really bring it together.
Yes.
And then now I was like, oh, now I get it. I can create a business that is health related, that has also the financial freedom aspect, and teach people that strategy of how to do both. And so coming back to my purpose of, okay, well, just combine the two.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying is so profound, that part of the awakening journey is just awakening to our common sense.
I know, right?
Just like, oh, it's really important to eat healthy. It's really important to drink the best water you can. It's really important to cleanse. And those, because from almost the moment we're born, we are taught to disconnect from our common sense, to disconnect from our guidance, and to obey other people's agendas for us.
Yes.
Whether it's, you need to sit in this chair and do this worksheet. It doesn't matter if you don't like it or you're not interested in it. You need to do this, and then you need to do this. And so many of us go through decades of our lives entrained to obey.
Yes.
And really not even to think for ourselves, much less even connecting with that guidance that's present.
Yeah. And what you say is so true, because we are born and our parents tell us how to behave.
Yes.
And our parents tell us, okay, you need to eat your vegetables, you need to save money, you need to do all this. And that's programmed into our subconscious mind.
Yes.
And then we go to school, and the school has these rules, like, do this, you need to behave.
Yes.
You cannot, be a free thinker. You have to be within the group. And if you're a thinker, you're an outlier and you don't fit in. They start getting bullied and all this stuff.
Yes.
And then as adults, we go to work and we have to find within the corporate world.
Yes.
We have to follow the rules of the corporate world. We have to work these crazy hours.
Yes.
We have to stay up all night.
Yes.
We have to meet these crazy deadlines that's unrealistic.
Yep.
Right? And so for me, I came out to this awakening of, okay, well, I was like that as a mom. I was telling my son not to do certain things, and I limited his ability to free think. And when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, what have I been doing to this kid? Yes. And so, I'm like, okay, now, Jonathan, I want you to go hurt yourself. Not like, just like go play, do crazy stuff. And you do it within the guidance of mom being here.
Yes.
Right? To tell you and guide you while you're still at home.
Yes.
So that when you build these skill sets at home, when you become an adult, when you leave to go off to college, you have the thinking mindset to analyze and to make your own decision logically, right?
Yes.
About not getting into the craziness like people in the 18s and the 20s get into, right?
Yes.
And now I have switched because of my shift in my journey. I have now shift my way of teaching my son, and now he's amazing. I mean, he's like tapped into his free thinking. He got into Harvard for summer school. He's 15 for the summer program and getting a college course. And now he's like just like knowing what he wants, because I'm asking him, what is it you want? How do I, as a mom, support you?
Yes.
And what are your goals right now?
Yes.
Right?
And this is the foundation of our power. And power can have in some ways like a negative connotation, like there's something wrong with it, but our power, our resources, our strength comes from aligning with our guidance, aligning with our purpose, aligning with our direction that we are always receiving from spirit. And that is where all of the power and assistance and synchronicities and help lies. Mm-hmm. And when we are disconnected from all of that, we're literally disempowered. We're literally not aligned with all that is available for us.
Right. Yeah, and it's so powerful, like for me to awaken from that and realize Like my goal is to bring this, like more parents, we need to look at the way we raise our children.
Yes, we need, and this beautiful story you've told about your son is that you are empowering him.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking him to connect with himself. What do you want? What is your purpose? What is your passion?
Mm-hmm.
You are helping him access his guidance, his power, his resources. And it's so sad. Parents always love their children and want to do the right thing, but they've been mistaught, they've been misguided. And so many of us disempower ourselves and our children.
Mm-hmm. It's very true, because that's what we know. We only know what we know. We only know what we're taught. And we
Yes.
only know culturally. There's nothing wrong with culture. There's nothing wrong with tradition. Yeah, some of those are like good, but we have to use our brain to really see if what we're being taught makes common sense. Why do we do certain things? Does that make common sense to do that? And then it's not aligned to like what's inside, because we're doing because we're told, but it doesn't make us feel good.
Yes. And the number one guidance that we always have access to is our feelings.
Yes.
And in our society, we're often taught to ignore our feelings, suppress our feelings, pave over our feelings. But our feelings are always the guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And if something doesn't feel quite right, then it is not right for you, no matter what anyone else says or thinks.
Exactly.
And to teach a child to really honor that gut instinct, those red flags, those nudges, those strong feelings is so profound for them.
Yeah, and especially I feel boys, because I feel like girls are allowed to be in touch with their emotions.
Yes.
Our society has told the boys that you cannot have these emotions because they make you weak.
Yes.
And so how do we not, and my son, because he's tapped into his emotions, people, the other kids are like, oh, why are you so sensitive? I was like, no, he's allowed to be sensitive. He's allowed to tap into these emotions and to be able to learn to express himself.
Yes.
Because he's having meaningful conversation with his mom.
Yes.
Teaching him, like, John, it's okay. These kids are not right now ready for you.
Yes.
It's okay, they're not ready. But eventually, when you're at a certain age where you find your community, you find your tribe, you find those people that you connect to, just find one or two people. That's all you need. Like your soul sister, your soul brother, somebody that connects with you, that helped you and talked to you and having a really meaningful conversation,
Yes.
And
yes.
So, that's why when we talk, like, oh my gosh, we just like, we are tapped into our, our soul and understanding and talking to each other.
Yes. And I think, so much of the violence in our culture is because in the men's culture in Western society, as you're saying, is not permissible to have these, feelings of sadness or feelings of fear or things that might be connoted as like weaker feelings. But what is acceptable is to be angry. It's okay for a man to have rage or anger. So much of those core emotions are being construed as anger and rage and come out as violence. So we've created just such a very sad cycle here where all those emotions are still being carried by these men, but it's only acceptable for them to be angry. And I think that has so much to do with the profound prevalence of violence in our culture.
Yeah, I mean, not Western, but Eastern too, like Asian culture. Like when I was growing up, my dad doesn't express love, and they do it in acts of services, not really saying I love you or hugging, and they're feeling uncomfortable. Even my in-laws, my ex-husband, the in-laws, they were uncomfortable that I was showing them love, that I was hugging them and kissing them, because that's not how they're, that's not Taiwanese, Chinese, we're hiding our emotions behind. Like we're trying to do things for you to show you, but you need to pick it up that we show you by doing these acts of service for you.
Yeah, these indirect.
indirectly passive aggressive kind of thing. But when kids, we need all those love languages. I say, we need all those words of affirmation. We need physical touch. We need these acts of services. We need quality time. Those are the combination of everything that we need as a kid growing up, so that our neurons develop in our brain, right?
Yes.
To connect and tap into that. But when we are young and we're taught to suppress, and we don't get that kind of love, those kind of love languages, the brain doesn't develop. I feel like, and then we miss that empathy, we miss that compassion, we miss that kindness, and then it's hidden in the closet.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's like, I feel like that's what I discovered. It's like, yeah, it's everything you outside on the surface level, everything looks fine, but inside, it's all hidden inside. And you can't express it because you haven't found someone who's able to let you express yourself, because you're afraid of opening up and expressing.
Yes. And you make such a good point that for so many of us, we're just projecting this persona into the world. Like, oh, okay, I'm together, I'm doing my work, I'm taking care of my kids. But inside, so many of us have just so much suffering and so much pain and so many dreams that are not even being really connected to. And it's almost like, this robotic nation of trying to just keep it together. And inside, there's just so much pain that's being numbed by whether it's alcohol or antidepressants or, other, gambling, just all these different methods to try to numb and distract ourselves from our pain.
Yeah, TV, social media, all these things that we're doing to just not listen, right? And not to really analyze that.
To tune out our own pain.
Yeah, I know. It's for me, there are some friends, like I say, soul sisters, and some really good male friends that I can have these meaningful discussion, and they understand, and they support me, I support them in having these meaningful discussions. But and so I feel like those are my inner circles of friends that I cherish, because we can be truthful. There's you don't have to lie. I mean, end of the day, why do you need to lie about anything, right? End of the day, we're on this journey together. How do we help each other? How do we support each other? How do we give to each other and not have to be worried about not trusting each other?
And I can remember on my own journey, maybe for you too, that I was very depressed and I was very miserable in my life. And I knew there was something that was really wrong with how I was living my life. And I was honest about it. And this made people around me seem to feel very uncomfortable. And I was told by many, many people around me that I needed to go on antidepressants. I just needed to put a Band-Aid on my feelings because it was making them feel uncomfortable. And it's almost like there's a shame associated with saying, I'm not happy with the way my life is, and this does not feel right. And there was something inside of me that just knew the way out of it was not through antidepressants. There was something inside of me that knew the way through my depression and into a better life was through the truth. And one of the main foundations of my practice that I do with myself and with my clients is inner truth. It's, and again, this is a common sense thing. Well, why wouldn't you be truthful with yourself? I guess because we were taught as kids not to be. You don't like this school? Well, it doesn't matter. Just suppress it. We don't care. So it's this practice of coming back to your own truth. And it's only when you are real with yourself and you acknowledge the truth of what's going on in your life that you can even begin to make transformation. And I know for many, many years, I was trying to hold a marriage together that it was so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I was not allowing myself to really see the truth because I was so scared of what it would mean to get the divorce. And it was terrifying to me on so many levels.
Yeah.
But I was keeping myself in a container of misery by not acknowledging the truth of the situation.
Yeah, I think we're the same. I think we went the same thing where we're just trying to make it work. And you're trying to make excuses. You're trying, oh, okay, well, he's just like that. And
yes, I can manage it. You know, that's, you always know you're not dealing with your truth when you're like, well, it's not so bad. When you start to rationalize, then you know you're just paving over the actual truth.
That's right. It's right.
And I'm sure for you too, now what I understand spiritually is that I don't have to know all the hows. I don't have to know how is this all going to work out? How's this all going to resolve? Spirit is going to co-create the beautiful solution, the miracles, everything I need to transform the situation. My job is to be truthful and to take the steps that are right, that are in the highest and best, that need to be taken, and that we are assisted every step of the way, and the journey will unfold, and it will all work out.
Yeah.
You don't have to know the way ahead of time.
Exactly. And make sure, I mean, I was the same way, and it just, you know, the universe guided me.
Yes.
I didn't know what was going on, but I just trust in that everything will be okay, and that that I need to release a lot of that, the garbage that was in the mindset and the relationship. And then I was able to, like, now every step of my way is guided, that I listen to that inner voice. I call it the inner voice that guide us, that we were told not to listen to.
Yes, exactly.
Because that intuition knows, I mean, that's like a sixth sense that we tap into, that intuition that always tell you there's something wrong, but you need to be able to tap into it and say, okay, let's listen to this.
Yes.
Does it make sense? And then I was like, now I'm more in tune. And so I keep saying, this inner voice that keeps telling you to go back. It's like, you need to go talk to her. Because she's like, there's something here that we need to go talk to. And it's just so powerful that I'm like, oh my God, I need to go talk to her. And it keeps telling me, you need to go talk to her. And that's what I'm tapping into. It's like this inner voice, this connection that I have with people that I meet along the way. And like I said, we need to get more of our inner circle of people who support our soul.
Yes, yes. And even what you just said made me think of this piece that I think is so important, is that even so many people end up relying, say, on a therapist or a guru or some type of healer to lead their journey. And what we're talking about, and the work that I do with clients, is you don't need me. I'm a facilitator on your journey. I'm walking this journey a bit with you for a time. Everything you need is within you.
That's right.
Your guidance, your guru is inside of you. You are your guru. The name of my program is You Are Your Own Hero.
Yeah.
And even just saying that, I just always want to cry. We are all our own heroes. You do not need a guru. You do not need a therapist. You only can tune in to that precious inner teacher, inner voice, inner guru who's always there for you, who, as you're saying, will guide you every step of the way.
Yeah. But you do need the first guidance, right? You need the first guidance of someone like yourself, or a friend who has tapped into her energy, who's aware, and then they guide you. And like I said, the soul sister of guiding you. And then once you have that guidance, then you're able to release from within. And then you tap into that inner energy, the inner soul, to, like, okay, guide you. But you do like need someone to open you up to, like, okay.
Yes, I think it's almost like, just almost maybe as a role model, like, oh, this person is living from her own guidance, and look at, things are going really well. Oh, I can do that too.
Yeah.
it's just an example. You're just like serving as, you know, an example. Like, yeah, this works
Yeah.
when you go within.
Yeah. And then we are the role models. It's
Yes.
like
Yes.
when people look at us and why they say you're an inspiration, but sometimes we don't recognize that. I for many years I don't recognize that I was I was like an influencer, role model, but I just do what I do all the time. I do this, I do that. And I'm
Yes.
like never acknowledge or never gave myself the credit that I'm like, wow,
Right.
you do a lot of things, you know?
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
okay, I think I know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm the example. I'm the
Yes.
role model. I'm the inspiration to pull more people into their path of
Yes.
inspired to break
Yes.
out, into the world and be what
Absolutely.
they're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Just to be like this lighthouse.
Yes.
This lighthouse, you're shining your light, you're showing the way, you're
Yeah.
shining the light for the path for others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I said. We're a lighthouse.
Yes.
We're helping them bring that light into their path so that they
Yes.
break free from the tunnel, like the depth of hell. As I say, I rise from the depth of hell to see
Yes.
things that I'm supposed to see,
Yes.
but bring guidance to all the people and say, okay, well, if you want to, this is what I see.
Yes. Yes.
I will help guide you along, but in the end, it's your journey. It's not my journey. It's your journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's amazing. We can talk forever. I think, we can be on the phone and be on the Zoom and we'll like just talk and talk because I just feel we're so connected. So I do have, one question, and I think I do know your answer. If you have one superpower to change a whole world, what would that be?
Okay. Like my greatest superpower to
The
change the
greatest
world.
superpower.
Okay. I would say my greatest superpower is I have such a profound desire to serve and to just help others. Like it's just hardwired in me. Like I can start to cry right now. Like nothing makes me happier than feeling like I've made a little difference in someone's life, whatever it is, helping them go within or helping them improve something, helping them feel better about themselves. So that is like this unstoppable force within me. I'm sure like my last breath on this plane, I will hopefully be in service to that. It's what turns me on. I mean, I love helping. I love lessening suffering for someone else. It's all I want to do.
Yeah. It's it. That's because we're givers, and we're givers, and we're helping people guide them along the way of their journey, and that's natural for us because we're just okay. Let's just take what you want to take from what I give you.
Yes, whatever resonates.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
And, I think many of us on your journey, on my journey, we went through so much deep, dark suffering, to the point of not wanting to live. And I'm grateful for that because it has given me so much compassion. I know what it feels like to not want to live. I know what it feels like to feel completely trapped in a life and feel there's no way out.
Yeah.
And if I can make a little difference in elevating someone from that position and reducing their suffering, I feel so much joy.
Yeah, we do. And it makes them feel good and it makes us feel good.
Yes.
It creates the chemicals for them, bring out the wonderful chemicals that makes them feel good. And then it also ours too. So we also feel good. So it's like,
because we're all one.
Yeah.
We're all connected. We're all sisters and brothers. We're all pieces of light from the God energy. And when we help one, we help everyone. We're all sisters and brothers in this.
Yes, that's why I do agree. I mean, we are, no matter where we are, what country, what globe, whatever, yes. we're all the same. I mean, yes. if we stop to recognize that we are all the same.
Yes.
Right? Same things, the same enlightenment. But it's just like our journey, everybody's journey is different, but how do you awaken to be at a higher power of being amazing?
Yes. And it's only, sometimes the institutions in power that are corrupt, that try to divide us through, you know, men, women, Democrat, Republican, different races, whatever. That's just this, you know, age-old divide and conquer scheme to try to get people to be in conflict with each other. But when we see through that, and we release that, and realize we're all brothers and sisters, we can all come together and build this beautiful new earth that.
And we have to. This is a paradigm shift. Like I keep talking, everybody I speak to, it's like it's a paradigm shift. We have to look at this. We have to like be prepared. We have to look at the new norm. We need to look at all this so that we are ready for the shift, right? Because this is not the last time this is going to happen. It's going to be more. And then what is out there, and that's telling us these stories, that we need to look at these stories.
Yes.
Right? Yes. And they're not like, they're surface level stories. There's a deeper something underneath that we don't see.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that we don't like get into the fear of these stories that's out there, and just look inside and start figuring it out and use your brain to think about it.
And in the same way that we can all bring profound transformation to our personal lives through visualization and our intention and our focus, we can do the same thing on a global level of, you know, visualizing, focusing, intending for just the highest and best timeline to manifest for this earth. Amazing.
All right. I know we're going to keep talking for a long time. So how will we find you?
Should I write something in the chat, or I can send it to you? I'll just say
I'll put it in our link, but if you want to say how, like Facebook, Instagram, how.
So really, if anyone's interested in any of the work I do, the easiest way, just email me. My email is Dr. Tassel, Tassel, faith, as in faith in God. So drtasselfaith@icloud.com. And then my website is drtassel.com.
Awesome. And then we also have a free gift that we're going to.
So I want to offer everyone who's listening, is interested, a free guided meditation.
Oh, wow.
On physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial health. So I'm happy to send you an absolutely beautiful, very powerful free guided meditation on those 5 aspects. And then I am also offering a 1 hour, 60-minute session with me to bring forth physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial transformation.
Amazing. And that one we'll do as a raffle.
Great, fun.
We'll drawing, and then we'll pick that person and then contact them and let them know that they get that free gift from you for that 1 hour consultation.
That sounds so fun. I love that.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yes, it's like this whole summit is about just doing things that is fun, and and just talking.
Joy.
That's all we're doing, is we're talking, and I feel like I'm continuously meeting so many amazing people, and I think this is not, it's going to be more and more, bring out more information just to share. It's like connecting people globally to share information and share what we're all going through, so that we're all like connected and help each other, support each other through this journey that we're in together.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing me on this summit and hosting this summit. It's so positive, it's so empowering, and it's just a beautiful gift to the earth that you're doing this.
Thank you. All right.